This is Jon Daly from the EP Boulevard Pawn Shop in Memphis. We are here with Lowell Hays, and we're going to have a little clip from Elvis from September 2nd, 1974, closing night. Let's take a listen.
I want to tell you a little bit about this jewelry that I got on. No, I can't sing about the jewelry. Hell, you know, these rocks. Now, this thing I got on wore in the Hawaii special, you know, and people thought it was one big stone, and it's not. It's 11.5 carat stone, which is pretty big. You know, it's the biggest I've ever seen. And anyway, this next to Elizabeth, I think she's got the biggest one. I think you're right, and that's the biggest diamond too. You're fast. You're good, boy. This thing here I had designed for the stage. It's got all different shapes of diamonds, pear-shaped, square-shaped, screwball, whatever, you know, it's for the stage. This I got tonight for you. You know, really. I got it. Just got it tonight, just like I got the suit for closing. And the reason I'm telling you this, and because I think you ought to know it, you helped pay for them.
All right, Lowell, we just heard Elvis from Las Vegas in 1974, closing night. So a couple questions here. So Elvis mentions in this clip that he bought a suit and he bought a ring for himself. Did Elvis buy jewelry, you know, for the stage only, or did he have personal jewelry? Like, what was the difference in that?
Oh, yeah, he very definitely bought stage jewelry. He liked big, flashy pieces that he would wear on stage, but then he had more conservative jewelry that he would wear, you know, normally. The only ring that I remember that he wore most of the time that was a stage ring was his TCB ring, but then he had horseshoe rings all through the years. He loved horseshoe rings.
Elvis had he bought jewelry only to wear on stage. Then he would buy jewelry that he would wear casually.
That's correct.
And then I guess the third category you could say is he bought jewelry that would even be gifted. So from a collector standpoint, you might have something he wore on stage, something he wore personally, or something that he gave away.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So also in this clip too, he mentions the Aloha ring and how people thought it was like one big diamond.
Well, it looks like one big diamond, when the way he moves, you know. But this is a copy of the horseshoe ring that I made for him. He wore it on the Aloha to Hawaii crusade.
Okay.
So he loved horseshoe rings.
You know, what's interesting is and we're going to put the pictures up here. So we've got a 50s publicity photo of him with one. We have one from Clambake, from, you know, 1967 Clambake publicity photo. And of course, you know, the Aloha, and he wore sometimes after the Aloha on stage. So for Elvis being a guy who was constantly reinventing himself, he never lost love with the horseshoe ring. He wore it the 3 decades, 50s, 60s, and 70s. I think that says a lot about the horseshoe ring.
Well, it does. I think it says a lot about his love for horses, too. Because, you know, he did love horses.
Yeah, he had horse. You know, he horses in the films, and then he got the Circle G Ranch, and he had him at Graceland as well.
Yeah.
So, wow. So he always had a love for the horses and the horseshoe
rings.
Now you sell these.
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
So
these are the Aloha ring here is made. I make it, and then this is a smaller version of a horseshoe ring with a horse head that looks more like the original one that he had in the 70s, in the 60s.
Yeah, that looks very similar, kind of the one from the Clambake publicity photos.
Yeah, and then this is one that I made for him in sometime in the 70s, early 70s, because there were lots of pictures of him. But this is a ring that he constantly bought from me and gave away, because he liked it. Every time he would see this ring in my case, he would buy it. And the next time he saw it in my case, he would buy it. So what happened to the last one, Elvis? He said, oh, I gave it to somebody. I don't remember who, you know. So it was one of his giveaway rings. He loved it.
Okay, wow. If you would like to get some of this jewelry from Lowell, you can go to lowellhays.com. If you're in Memphis, Graceland does sell the Lowell's line of jewelry over there at, on Elvis Presley Boulevard as well. Lowell, we appreciate your time today with doing this. We hope you enjoyed this little insight into Elvis and his horseshoe rings. And if you enjoy the video, please be sure to like and subscribe.